It's showtime, baby. Let's go. Woo!
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, the Iceman, Jeff Trunapole. And as always, I bring you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati. Ohio, home of my new tailgate pregame show. There we go. Each and every Sunday at the Moreline Lager House. You can go there and enjoy delicious Moreline food and delicious Moreline lager. You have access to the new bourbon room that they're going to have open there. It is going to cost you something, but don't worry. A portion of the proceeds go to the charity of that week's choice of the player that's there or whoever is there this week. Like I said, details are coming in rapidly. I will get it all figured out here really quickly and give you all the details, price points, and all that stuff. But between now and then, go down to Moreline Lager House and enjoy some delicious beer and some delicious food. Also, if you're looking for some wings, now I'm a West Side guy. Phil is a West Side guy. We pretty much don't leave, but I do drive 45 minutes to Midwest Best Barbecue because it is absolutely delicious. I highly, highly recommend going out there. Tim and Nicole are great people. Make sure you get you some CTB wings, some Uno, some G-Funk, some pulled pork sandwiches. Like I say all the time, throw a dart at the menu and pick something. It is absolutely delicious. Trust me. And tell them I sent you. And also, if you're looking for any windows and doors, please check out Meyer Windows and Doors and more at www.meyercincinnati.com for all your window and door needs. I got them in my house. You should get them in yours. And my West Side peeps got just looking for a nice little cool little jewel to go to, check out Hail Marys. It's your ticket to the game right in the middle of Cheviot. Some people call it Chevois, but check it out there. They got big-ass TV screen, beer specials. They have food trucks there, free parking, which I always say the free parking because that is awesome because in Cheviot, there's not a lot of parking. So they have a free parking lot right across the street. You can park there, walk across the street to Hail Marys, and enjoy yourself. What is up to everybody in the chat? I know you guys started early because normally I do it at 5:30, but when you have a legend like Phil Amrin, you gotta go when Phil can come on. So we had to start a little later at 6 o'clock. But what's up, Ken? What's up, Paul? Brad's in there. Jackpot's in there. Ken, you're in there a lot. Brad, and let's see. Kevin's in there. Who else? Crip's in there. All right, I like it. Well, welcome to the show. All right, let's get to news of the day real quick with the Reds. According to Lance McAllister, Matt McLain should be doing some rehab games by August 12th. Hopefully he'll be ready to play in some games by September. But that is the plan according to David Bell. And also, the Reds activated Jake Fraley from the family emergency list and sent Blake Dunn back to AAA. Hopefully they'll win 3 in a row tonight. The rookie is looking great. He's not going to cover off the ball. Maybe it's good things coming. Who knows? Maybe the Reds have turned us around. Who knows? But we're not here to talk about Reds. We're here to talk about one of the nicest guys I've ever met. He's got his own jewelry place. He's got his own shirt. He was Bengals Fan of the Year 2022. He had one of the most epic draft announcements ever, which we'll play that here in a second. But let's get to the man, the myth, the legend. He's Phil Amrin. Phil, what's going on, brother?
Hey, brother, who day?
Who day? Now, I have to start this off real quick because I asked you this when you and me were talking after you went to the draft. But let me play this video. If everybody has forgotten why I call you a legend, you are a legend for getting in front of everybody and doing this.
And a privilege to be chosen the Cincinnati Bengals Fan of the Year. And I would like to thank the NFL, the Cincinnati Bengals, and my incredible wife, Shelley, for this opportunity. I hope every one of you get the opportunity to do this. It's incredible. Now, before further ado, it's heads. AFC, pack your bags. You're coming to the city by the river. Who Day. And this next gentleman is going to get us there. With the 131st pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select wide receiver Charlie Jones from Purdue. Who Day. Who Day. Who Day think they'll beat the Bengals? Who Day.
Well, I hope everybody heard it because it kind of didn't want to finish playing. But, I mean, that was unbelievable. That was the year of the coin flip and everything that happened there. When did you come up with that? How did you get the guts to do it? Or you're like, this is my one-time shot. F it. I don't care. What went into that?
Well, about a month before, the Bengals came to me and said, hey, you want to do a draft pick? I said, sure, that'll be fun. So we went out there, and about 3 weeks before, I said, let's do a little poke the bear here. We're always getting kicked in the butt, the teeth, always seem to get the short end of the stick. So I thought, I'll do the coin flip. And I practiced for 3 weeks in the store, didn't drop it once. I had an 1876 Carson City dollar.
Okay.
And so I'm flipping. You come up these steps, and you turn. There's 125,000 Kansas City fans booing you, and a big bank of lights.
Right.
A big bank of lights. So I said to myself, if I flip this and lose it in the lights, I'm going to look like a goofball. So I called an audible and did the coin toss. Didn't know what I was going to say. I did kind of get a wink and a nod okay from my Bengal handler. At first, he says, make sure you don't show up your draft choice. And that was my concern. I didn't want
Right.
the young man. It was his day, not mine.
Yes, exactly.
And so, but the night before, after listening to Motley Crue with the Bengal rep, he says to me, hey, whatever you do, don't drop the coin. So that was okay. And I didn't know what I was going to say. I wanted to thank the Bengals and my wife and the NFL. But I will tell you, I was there all 3 days. It was the loudest boos of anyone the entire weekend. It was incredible. It was so fun. But I will tell you, I know we have a little thing going on with the KC fans.
Yeah.
You walk off and you had to walk out the gauntlet.
Right.
They gave me a standing O.
Most Kansas City fans are. We went there. Most of them are fine. It's just a fun back and forth, man.
No,
but it's
no
fun.
problem with them at all.
Yeah.
It was a great time. It was just going to be an inside joke, ha ha. Never did I think it would get 10 million views. And Good Morning Football named it the #1 moment of the draft.
Yep.
I about fell over.
I know. Dude, all right, so I was sitting down here watching the draft, and I saw you do that, and I'm going, go, Phil! Get him! I'm like cheering for you, like I'm cheering for the Bengals. Like, yeah! I'm like, that's awesome! And then I found out that they said that was a moment of the draft. I'm like, hell yeah, it is! I'm like, dude, and people still talk about it, man. Like, that is, like, just to be able to go up, like, yeah, I talk in front of people, but I'm in my basement right now. But to get up on a stage like that, and you didn't stutter, you didn't stammer, you got your words out, you got the coin flip done, you did it all perfect, dude, and it was awesome. I got much respect for you for doing that.
It was fun. It really was. We were at the Super Bowl last year in Vegas, and of course, we wear our Bengal stuff when we travel. And a guy from Green Bay came up. He says, "You're that guy that did the coin flip at the draft, aren't you?" I said, "I was. My name's Phil." And he says, "That was awesome." He says, "I have so much respect for the Cincinnati Bengals because of that." I said, "Well, I'm not the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm just a fan."
Yep. But that dude,
So,
that was
I got to ask you
cool.
a question.
What's up?
Who do you think was the most underrated pickup of the year off season?
This year?
Yeah.
Most underrated.
Who's going to be the sleeper?
That's a good
You
question.
want my pick?
Yeah, go ahead. Give me your pick and I'll think about it.
Austin McNamara.
Ooh, yeah? Yeah?
The punter, TCU.
Yeah?
Dude, the game's 3 parts: offense, defense, special teams.
Mm-hmm.
Our punting was not the greatest last year. I think this kid he's going to win us some games by flipping the field.
We'll hope so. He'll definitely give Brad Robinson a run for his money, because that was one thing that was. And I've had Brad on the show, and it was disappointing on how Brad did last year. I thought he was going to be an upgrade, and I still think it's going to be a big competition. And I'll put it to you this way: I've talked to Darren Simmons and Brad, and Darren really puts a big emphasis on the hold. Now, Brad never held a football before. This kid has. So this is going to be a big competition. If he can hold a football fine the way Darren Simmons wants it, and he can punt the ball, Brad Robinson is it's going to be a battle for him.
He's going to be punting in the UFL.
There you go. So yeah,
I know he's a nice guy, but
yeah,
we're here to win football games.
Absolutely. So mine, honestly, it's not really under the radar, but I think he's going to have a bigger impact than people think, and that's Gesicki. Because in minicamp, I just heard this. They had him split out wide. I think they're going to move him around all over the place. I think he's going to have, honestly, a Pro Bowl year. He's going to be our version of Travis Kelce, something that Burrow has never had. So I know it's not really under the radar, but I think he's going to have a bigger impact than people think. Because Phil, it drives me nuts. People are like, well, Jackpot Joey, he doesn't throw it to the tight ends. I go, yes, he does. I mean, C.J. Uzomah got a big contract. Hayden Hurst got a big contract. They got big contracts because Joe Burrow threw him the ball. Now he's got, I think, a guy who's faster and a better receiver than both of those guys. I mean, Hayden Hurst was really good. There's no shade on him. But Gesicki, I think, is an elite pass catcher and speed-wise. And he can do things at that tight end spot that we've never had before.
Well, I'm going to agree with you. I think we've upgraded both sides of the ball, upgraded tight end, upgraded safety, upgraded the kicking game, the running back. Hey, and I'm a Joe Mixon guy.
Yeah, me too.
Pass blocking, little weak. This Moss kid can pass block and he can run. He was number 2 to McCafferty after like 6 or 7 weeks last year in rushing.
Well, yeah, because some people are asking me, like, well, who's this guy? I was like, go back and watch the first, 6 weeks of the Colts games last year. Look at his stats when he was the number 1 running back. He's going to be really good. And, again, I love Joe Mixon, and I've said this a couple times on here. I think Joe Mixon's going to go to Houston. I think he's going to have a hell of a year. I think he's going to have a great year. He didn't really fit into what Zach Taylor's offense is. I think, Zach Moss and Chase Brown fit better. I would like them still to add another one to that room. I still want that big bruising back, that guy we need to get, 2-3 yards. Like P-Ron. I would love to get him back, but he's not. But we need that guy still, and I'm hoping they can find it somewhere during training camp.
You never know. It could happen.
Yeah. So those are two things that two spots I want to ask you about. Like I said, that I still would like to see the Bengals add is, like I said, the running back, a big bruiser there, and then the other one is cornerback, not for starter, just for depth wise, because we are so young there. Basically our only real veteran. I mean, Juice is a veteran. Cam Taylor-Britt, he's a veteran, but this will be his 3rd year. Mike Hilton's really the veteran of that crew.
He's the glue.
He's the glue, but just in case Dax Hill, I'm praying that he's going to be the guy over there, and I really do believe he can be. But DJ Ivy and I can't think of the other one now. They're younger guys, and I think they're capable. But we need that guy.
Got Anderson back there too.
Right, but we need that just in case. I mean, the injury happened. That's a very injured position. I just liked another veteran guy there just in case.
Well, I agree, but I think everybody grew up a little last year. I think we're going to be surprised.
I hope so. And Chop, you're not late. We just started. We started at 6. So, Phil, the man here runs a business, so he couldn't get here till 6. So you're not.
Sorry
you're not
about that, guys. Got to pay for my season tickets.
Exactly. All right, so let's get down to this event that you have coming up that you've been doing for how many consecutive years have you been doing it, and what's the name of it?
It's called Bengal Fest, and this is the 14th year. We did not take off a COVID year. We defied all the local authorities. We still had over 100 people, had a live band, catered. We celebrate the Bengals. It is the longest continuously run Bengal celebration anywhere. The Cincinnati Bengals have not put one on this long. Bengal Jim hasn't put one on this long. We have. It's privately funded. It's by invitation only. It's everyone who comes to our tailgate and so on and so forth. We have between 125 and 150 people. It's always the last Saturday in July. Let's keep our fingers crossed for weather because it's outside. We have a catered food. We have bartenders. We have a live band. We have giveaways. Jimmy Breach and David Fulcher were there last year. I think they're coming back this year. Matty Meyer tells me he may bring Trent Irwin.
Ooh.
So that's something for the ladies.
That's
But
my dude.
it's a great time. We've got a waiting list. In fact, I'm going to invite you and your bride tonight if you'd
Okay.
like to come, and I'll get you
Absolutely.
the details. We
Absolutely.
have security at the gate, not at the gate, at the end of our driveway, because people drive by and they see all the cars, they see the signs. One of our banners says, "The March to the Super Bowl starts here."
I love it.
And it started as you asked me how it started earlier.
Yeah, how
It
did it
as
get
a
started?
Practice tailgate.
Oh, okay.
You know how the first week of tailgate is. Did anybody bring the aluminum foil?
Right.
Is our blender working? So
Right.
on and so forth. And so a friend of ours, Jerry Rice, and his wife Shelley, along with my wife Shelley, we put on an incredible tailgate. And the deal is, the first couple of weeks, it was always, man, we need to practice because we don't have this. So we started at Jerry Rice's house for about 3 years.
Not the Hall of Famer from the Sucky Niners.
No, this is the white Jerry Rice and his wife. So he said it got out of hand. It started with 4 people, went 8 to 12, then 20. He says, "Man, we got to move this to your house." So it's gotten out of hand. My wife yells at me every year. She says, "Honey, you got to cut off." So we've capped it at 150 people. Last year we had 154 because the Bengals access team was out filming it last year.
Yeah,
And,
I remember.
we do.
Yep.
So we do a thing based upon my coin flip called Heads or Tails, where
Okay.
everybody throws $20 in, and we do 2 rounds, split the pot, and then we'll donate the money to charity. And we insist the person who wins keep the money. We're not going to, shame you into donating the money. We want you to keep the money. And somebody always walks away with $500, and then we make a nice donation to a local charity. Last year it was a young family whose infant son had cancer.
Aw, that's awesome. I mean, that's bad for them. But that's awesome
Thankfully,
that you guys do that.
Everything has worked out. Everything has
great.
worked out. The child's
Awesome.
healthy and everything's moving forward. That's
Awesome.
a happy.
That's a happy one. So that is awesome. That's when they feel that when I started the show 6 years ago and got to know people like you and stuff, and the charities that just the Bengals fan in general does is amazing. I mean, for what Bengal Jim does, the guys Bengals and Brews Lot 1, for what you're doing, just different things is it's just amazing to me. I mean, honestly, because that's if you're have a chance to help people and you're given a platform to do it, then by God, you should be able to do it. And I think the Bengals fans do it. I don't know about the rest of the fan base, but I think we do it better than anybody else, to be honest.
Well, I got to tell you, we're all pretty lucky to be able to go to the Bengals games, eat, drink, have a great time. We're very fortunate. And I think sometimes we lose perspective of how lucky we really are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the funny thing is, you're talking about how you got to practice tailgate. You start out. That's how that started out. Well, I got my own tailgate at Moorline Lager House this year, so we're working on practicing that. How we're going to run that thing. So yeah, I'm a little. I keep promoting it and everything. We don't have all the details yet, but I just wanted to get it out there that we're going to do this. And like I said, the portion of the proceeds are going to charities. We're going to have Bengals players there and stuff. Hopefully, you and your bride can stop by. I know you guys got your own tailgate, but maybe sometime you guys can stop by for 5 or 10 minutes. I'd appreciate it. But it's
We'll see
going
if
to
we
be
can do that.
yeah, it's going to be a blast. I'm excited to do it, but it is it's nerve-wracking, dude, to be honest. Well, you haven't done it before? Yeah.
You're going to do fine. And by the way, shout out to the Motorline Lager House. Great place to be on their upper deck to eat a burger and watch the river. Great view. I love going there. Shelly and I go there at least once a month. And Midwest Barbecue. You know what? The food is fabulous. The place is great, but the owners are over the top. They are the nicest folks. And the food is terrific. Absolutely terrific. So hit those two places up.
Absolutely. Tim and Nicole are salt of the earth. I mean, they are. And I'm not just saying this because they sponsor the show. They are genuinely nice people. I love those two. Their family's awesome. They're awesome, and they're Bengals fans. And their food is delicious. I mean, I'm not saying that because they're sponsor show. I say you can throw a dart at the menu and pick something. I haven't had a bad thing there yet. I mean, I don't know what Tim does, but Tim is a hell of a cook. I'll tell you that.
Hey, and they've got ice cream there too.
Yeah, they do.
They got that little ice cream counter.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep.
I stumbled onto them. Our little charity is called Cincy Boys with Hats,
right?
And we go feed the homeless with we do Burger Week, Wings Week, Pizza Week, Taco Week, and we stumbled on the Midwest Barbecue during Wing Week.
Okay.
And I gotta tell you, I said, "Holy smokes! I'm glad they're 40 minutes from my house."
Yeah,
because I'd be huge now.
I'm huge enough. What's your favorite wing there? Have you got one?
You know what? I'm a drum guy. I'll eat anything they put there. I just don't like the excessive heat. So I like a nice Cajun rub.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, the funny thing is, like Phil, when I was younger, I still like hot stuff, but I like chicken wings. I get them as hot as I can. Now that I'm 49, almost 50 years old, I want to be able to taste my food. I don't want to burn the crap out of my mouth, and sweat, and So I mean, I like it hot, but I don't like it too hot. Like my nephew always makes fun of me now. He's like, "Uncle Jeff, you used to eat really hot stuff." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I'm kind of smartened up. It's painful. Like I want to enjoy my food."
Wait do you get to be 63, man? I had some great food last night and a little hot sauce. At 1:30, I got up and took Tums. It's a terrible thing.
It's funny. Now, the funny thing, I agree with you on drums. This is always the kind of debate. If you're wings fans, chicken wing fans, like some people are like, "Oh no, I like the actual wings." People say you get more meat on there, which I don't think you do. You get more meat on the drum, and I don't like having to try to eat in between the two bones. I'd rather eat drums all day long.
Well, if they said you had to eat flats, I'd eat a flat. Give me a little blue cheese, and I'll scarf it down, man.
There you go. Ringless Bandits. What's up? He says, Indian Mound Cafe has really good honey wings.
I've been to Indian Mound Cafe. It's there over like in the Silverton area. Absolutely fabulous. Huh. I was there for a wing week. It's a little dive bar, hole in the wall. Love that place too. Maybe they'll sponsor you.
Hey, I'll just take some free food. That's fine. Stranger said he's a breast man. I think we're all breast men. So, all right. So let's get to your butt man. Hey, you're like Sir Mix-a-Lot. Baby got back. So, all right. Let's get to let's just. You brought up some of the off-season moves. What is your favorite off-season move between Geno Stone, Trent Brown? Where are you at on the free agents and the draft?
God, you know what? Let's do the free agents because I think those guys are brought in to make an impact. Trent Brown, I hope he's as advertised. I'm concerned. Yeah. I'd like to get Mims signed here. I think he's going to – I think they're hesitant because he's had injury past.
Yeah,
My guess is he wants everything guaranteed. And,
he's
injury –
they already signed him. He's already signed, I'm pretty sure.
No, he wasn't signed 2 days ago.
He really wasn't? I thought they signed him already. Maybe
no, he was one of 5 left.
Oh, I thought they signed him. My bad.
I like Gesicki, and I like Stone. And I'm going to tell you, those two guys are going to bring it. And you put Stone with Battle. Oh, my God. Did you see Battle hitting people last year?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Talk about bringing the wood. Mm-hmm. Man, I like a good solid hit. See, I'm the old school. On Saturdays, we used to watch the highlights of the big hits. And you can't do that anymore because,
Yeah, we're supposed to, hug everybody and lay them on the ground now.
Yeah. Yeah, I get pissed off about that stuff. But don't get me started.
Oh, so you don't want to talk about the drop tackle rule or anything they got going on
Oh,
now?
Jesus Christ. And Zach Moss. I mean,
Yes.
the trifecta of free agents right there. We are going to be, I'm going to make a prediction,
Okay.
15-2.
Ooh, and you know what?
15-2.
With the schedule we got this year, we finally have an easier schedule. I mean, we had historically one of the hardest schedules ever last year. That's not far fetched. As long
No.
knock on wood, as long as Jackpot Joey stays healthy, we got to keep that in mind.
Well, you know what? Jake Browning did a hell of a job last year.
Yes, he did.
And
Yes,
if they don't call that bullshit intentional grounding pass in Kansas City game, we win that game and go to the playoffs.
Yep.
I just get, don't get me started, man.
There's yeah.
You know, the nice thing about it, it seems like the last 5 years, we've started off with some ball buster games.
Yes.
You know, we have to go to Dallas on the road to start off, and we should have won that game. You know, we go to Cleveland in the rain with hurt Joe Burrow. Baltimore comes in here. It just, you know, thank God.
One after another. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to call it a cupcake game, but we start off a little easy. I think we can go to Kansas City and knock them off.
I hope so.
Commanders come in here; they're weak sauce.
Well, we got three. Is it 3 out of our first 4 games that they got a new coach and a new quarterback? If I'm correct, I know it's.
I think you're correct on that.
Yeah, I think so. That bodes well. And I mean, and the thing is that drives me nuts is we always get off to a slow start, and hopefully, with it not being a freaking gauntlet for once, that'll help us. You know, if we have a little slow start, we still can get into games and win. Because you remember the Minnesota game, was it 20? Was that 20?
Oh, yeah.
21?
Kicked the field goal at the end of the game to win it.
Yeah. Man, that one was that was the first one where Jamar Chase, he can't catch the ball, and he threw the bomb to Joe threw the bomb to Jamar. We came back. We started out slow in that game, but we came back and won that. And that's where, I mean, I could see us, quote unquote, struggling in these games because we do get off to slow starts, but I think we can win them because we're a better team than these teams that we're playing against right now. And I'm kind of Kansas City too. We're still a better team than Kansas City. I don't care what anybody says.
I think we need to. Well, I think Kansas City. I think we're far better than them. I think we need to come up against the Patriots and run them out of the building. Just put your foot on their throat and just keep pressing.
Exactly. I know I had something else. Oh, I know what I wanted to ask you. I kind of brought this up yesterday, and I heard this on ESPN yesterday morning. Chris Canty, they kind of threw it out there of top 10 coaches in the NFL. And they left Zach Taylor off the top 10. And they put, I don't want to say Dan Pitcher, but it's Dan, the Detroit Lions head coach. I can't think of his name right
Campbell.
now. Yeah, Dan Campbell. They put him up there. And they were like, how can you, and they were trying to talk to Canty. You're like, but Zach Taylor's went to back-to-back AFC championship game. He went to the Super Bowl. He went 9-8 with, Joe Burrow being hurt most of the year. He was healthy for 4 games. And he went 9-8. They still made the playoffs. Like, how are you going to put Dan Campbell in there? Which, I mean, I think Zach Taylor's higher than 10 anyway, but I'm just comparing to Dan Campbell. And he's like, well, Detroit's never won anything. I was like, well, we haven't won anything either.
Dan Campbell is a big personality.
Mm-hmm.
He's on there crying, screaming, getting pissed off. I like Dan Campbell.
Oh, I like him. Yeah, this is no Dan
Zach
Campbell
is
shade.
reserved.
Yeah,
Zach's reserved. He's still learning. He's getting better every year. If you recall his first game in Seattle, I was there. It was
I remember that game, Phil, because I was sitting down here watching it, and we got off to a really good start. I'm like, holy shit! I said we might actually be good. We were in that game. We should have won the game.
Well, it was 4th and 1 at the 3-yard line, and we're down by 4, and Zach kicks a field goal. I said to him, I sent him a letter. I said, dude, I know it's your first game, but you're off to a bad start. I said, I played football on the west side of Cincinnati. We play to win. We don't play not to lose. We had enough of that with Marvin. And by the way, I love Marvin. Great guy. Nice. I just disagree with some of his coaching style. I always play to win.
I liked Marvin a lot. But I agree with you. He always coached to not lose. But I mean, I think Zach's actually. I mean, there's been lots of times that he's went for it on ones that I'm like, good. Like they're like Kansas City game last year. I'm trying to think of what it was. He was it the end zone? What was it? I can't remember. There's some play in that Kansas City
We
game
ran the
last year.
ball. We were about the 8-yard line.
Yeah, was it for a touchdown?
And it was fourth and 1 or fourth and 3. I get it. Hey, how about the Super Bowl on the first drive when he went?
Yeah, right.
You know what? We weren't supposed to be there. He went for it. If he makes it, he's the greatest coach ever. That's how it is. But we were still in the game. We got some bullshit calls, and I'm going to tell you, I like Zach. He's a class act.
Love Zach. That's my
class
dude.
act all the way. A nice man, and he's smart enough to hire people to watch the clock for replays. He does things like that. He doesn't micromanage. That's
exactly.
I'm glad
now
bringing Dan Pitcher in to call some plays. I like that. That was my only disagreement.
Yeah, I'm a huge Zach Taylor fan. I'm always on here defending him. But yeah, and the thing, I always wanted a coach to go for it. That's where it's like you can't get mad at him when he goes for it, or you can't cheer when he goes for it and it works, and then you can't get mad at him when he goes for it and it doesn't work. I mean, that's what's going to happen. It's going to work sometimes, and sometimes it's not going to work. That's just the way it is. But I'd rather have a guy like you said. We're West Siders. We want to win. You play to win the game, and that's what I like about Zach. Yeah, and that's why I think Zach does that a lot. Now, we got some comments here in the chat here, and I'm trying to bring up here. Okay, there you go. We're going to expand it. Are you guys going to any away games? He said he's going to KC and Dallas. I am probably going to the Giants game in New York. That's the one I think I have planned right now. What about you, Phil?
For security reasons, because of my jewelry store, I cannot discuss when I'm going to be out of town.
I understand that.
I think everyone knows what I do during the season.
There you go. So we will discuss when you're leaving town. But as of right now, I think I'm going there. He's got another question here, Rory. Who do you guys think should start week 1, Battle or Bell? I think Bell should start, and Battle should have to earn the starting role. Now I'm glad he brought this up, and that's I think it's going to be an interesting battle. A battle's going to have to battle Bell in training camp.
What a problem to have.
A great problem to have. I would not be shocked if Battle wins it in training camp. That's what I think it's going to come down to. I think Bell is here to make sure everybody gets in the right position. Because, Phil, how many times did we see guys out of position, missing tackles last year? And the linebackers, I think, were trying to take up for that. But that was also not what they're used to doing, and they were getting, out of position. I think that was a huge problem, or the biggest problem with our defense last year. So, if we can get everybody in position with Bell on the field or with Battle on the field, I personally don't care, but I think there's a chance Battle could be that guy. But you got Bell there as a backup to show him the ropes and everything. I think this is a great problem to have.
Well, how old's Von Bell now? Is he like 29? 30?
Yeah, somewhere around there, I think. That's a guess.
I mean,
but yeah,
I think he might have lost a half a step. And Battle has still got the speed. So we'll see how it plays out. If Battle is there, it's always nice to have that insurance policy on the bench.
Exactly. Now, Paul Payne, this is an interesting question. Paul's got a question. He said, "Is Osai is a cut candidate?" I'm yes and no. I still remember how good he looked the year before last. And everybody remembers the play in the Kansas City game. But if you go back and watch that game, he was one of the most dominant players on defense for the Bengals that entire game. Last year, he was injured a lot. He is healthy so far. If he can get back to where he was 2 years ago, there's no way you're keeping him off this.
I don't think he's a cut candidate at all. I think that's a misstatement.
Yeah, I don't really think. I mean, look, anybody can get cut, so I'll never say nobody's a cut candidate. But he's not the one that I would sit there and say, "Oh yeah, he's definitely a cut candidate."
He's not the first one that comes to mind.
No, definitely not the first one that comes to mind. He's low on the list, and I am looking for a breakout year because Phil, I think if we get him and Miles Murphy, both of them going along with Sam and Trey, we got that NASCAR package that we talked about last year, where we could have a rotation of edge guys coming at you, with Rankins and Jenkins on the inside and B.J. Hill. That's what this defensive line, I'm really excited about. I think we got a lot of guys that we can rotate in and out and keep guys healthy and rested.
Well, you know what? I think we need one more stud linebacker. One more stud linebacker.
That would be nice.
Pratt and Wilson are solid, but we need one more. One more. Batchy, he's okay.
You got Kareem Davis Gaither, which he's made some plays. I'm still kind of waiting for him to. I still think there's another level to him. Yeah, I think there is. I mean, I maybe I'm wrong, but I think there is another level. I've seen him make some really good plays, and I've seen him make some really bonehead plays too. So, it would be. And the thing is, you never know who's going to get cut. We always say that in the training camp, who gets cut. There's always a big name that gets cut. Maybe some linebacker gets cut, and the Bengals can pick him up.
Well, somebody's got to have a little gas left. Maybe we can pick up somewhere down the road. Got one good season left. Just has a little chip on their shoulder. Pick them up cheap. Throw them in there. Let's see what they can do.
Exactly. All right, Michael Mann's got a question for us. Do you play some of the stars in preseason? Yes.
Yes.
I say yes.
Yes.
We have to.
1-2 series, not a whole game, not a whole half.
Nope.
Go out for a quarter and play.
They got to play together at least a series. Hopefully, like you said, I hope at least 2. They have to, because I think that's one of the biggest problems of why we've gotten off to such slow starts.
Now, do you remember that year where we lost like 4 starters in the one preseason game?
Yeah.
Oh,
that was
dropping like flies.
Yeah, that's when you're like, all right, everybody out of the game. Get everybody out. The only best getting hurt.
You shouldn't start them.
Right, exactly. And that's exactly what's going to happen. So we'll say you got to play, first, second string, and then they told you they shouldn't have played. Like Ken here says, but not Burrow. I don't know.
I sent him out for one series.
The thing is, I know they keep him in the bubble wrap and everything, but it's football, dude. People get hurt. You can't play
one series.
Scared. I know it's preseason. It doesn't matter, but damn it, I'm tired of getting off the bad starts. One series for Burrow, something to knock the rust off. And it's not game speed, but it's going to be close to game speed as he's going to get. At least one series, I think.
Well, I think didn't Osai take down Brady a couple times in preseason, and then they pulled him?
Yep, he sure did. That was his first sack. Was against Brady. I remember that was a couple years ago. That was, and Brady always played. I don't remember Brady sitting out an entire preseason. Yeah,
no,
I don't think so. So, lots of people are not agreeing with us. Chop says 0 series. Don't play him at all.
Yeah,
which I mean. Honestly, more likely that's probably what Zach Taylor's going to do, because he hasn't played him. Even when he's healthy, I don't think. I'm trying to think about the year before last if he played him. I don't think he played him at all.
Is he healthy?
Well,
is he 100%?
Hopefully. I mean, according to 100%, I don't know. But when he was on the Pardon My Take podcast, he feels healthy. He's stronger. And he's put some more weight on. He put weight on last year. He's putting more weight on this year. Now, one thing he said that I thought was interesting, and maybe he doesn't do this normally, because they asked him to go, okay, you're stronger. Like, how many push-ups can you do? And Joe's like, well, I don't do push-ups because of my wrist. Now, maybe he says that because his wrist hurt. Maybe he doesn't do push-ups. I don't really know if a lot of NFL players do push-ups. They might do more of the weight stuff. But I thought that was intriguing and also kind of a little scary that you're not doing it. So, but if you're doing bench presses, you're still using your wrist, and I've seen him do stuff like that. Or it was a Black Dog or whatever the workout place is over there. I think it's over on north side. I think over there.
I don't know. I don't know anything about workout places.
I don't either. I work. I do 24-hour curls. That's what I do.
There you go.
So yeah, it's like I said, we won't really find out until the season. Now, one thing I thought that Joe said that was interesting back in the springtime, and I think this is the maturity that he's getting, and having gone through 2 injuries that have ended the season, and the calf injury he had last year. We all know there's something wrong with the calf last year. He had the sleeve on. There's something wrong there.
Yep.
He injured it even more. I think hindsight, now that we've seen what Jake Browning can do, Joe will back off going, all right, I feel a little twinge down here, something going on. I'm going to rest, make sure it's good to go. Jake, you go run the offense, and I know everything's going to be fine.
Well, people say let's let Jake play the first game against the Patriots. Well, Joe's got to get out there. Maybe if he plays the first half and we're up big, you pull him, and then he's got the rust knocked off to go play KC the following week.
Yeah, I'm like, if he's 100% healthy, play him. That's wrong. If you believe he's 100% healthy, there's no reason to not play him, then play him. I don't believe in not playing somebody for the what ifs. What if?
No doubt.
Yeah, what if I walk out the street and I get hit by a car? What if? What if? You can't. If you're playing football, you can't play like that. You don't want your quarterback thinking like that. So to me, you can't put that out there in his brain. Like, well, we're not going to play it because what if you get hurt? We really want you for next week. Well, we don't want Joe out there going, all right, well, what if this happens? Which I don't think Joe will think that. But if you say it enough times, it gets stuck in your brain and you're going to think that. You can't think like that out on the field.
Hey, what does everybody else out there think? What do you think our record's going to be this year?
That's interesting. Oh, that's a good question. So you said 15-2.
I think 15-2 is doable.
That's the last couple of years. What did I say last year? I think it said 13-3, 13-4, something like that. I can't remember what it said, but I haven't been right. I was right the Super Bowl year, but not last year. Obviously, Ken's got 13-4. So I have to go through the schedule. I haven't actually sat down and gone through the schedule yet. But the way the schedule is set up, Phil, we're set up to get off to a good start and be dominant. And like Joe Burrow said in that podcast, he goes, Bengals first, and I don't care about the rest.
Well, I'm with that. Are you ready for New Orleans? Have you booked your place yet?
Not yet. I know Matty Myers. He's already got a place booked. He's set and ready to go. So I have not yet. I'm talking to Mrs. Ice about trying to work that out so we can get down there. Yeah, because I said we can drive to New Orleans. I couldn't drive. Well, you could drive to LA, but it would take 2 days to get there. I can drive to New Orleans in a day. I can get there. And I'm like, I'd love to go to the game. I at least want to be in the city when we win it. I at least want to be there. I would be. I know you already got your place already set to go.
We're booked. We got airfare and everything. The six that we travel with, we're ready to go.
That is awesome.
And I've been to several Super Bowls down in New Orleans, in the city. We haven't gone to the games. What a great town! I love New Orleans. It'd be better coming home with Lombardi.
Oh God! I'm just thinking of this, Phil. Just think of the banks, that area. I remember how it was after we won the AFC Championship game. Just think how nuts just that area is going to be when we win the Super Bowl this year. You're not going to be able to walk down there. There's going to be so many freaking people, and nobody's going to work for the whole week. No. We're going to be going downtown, getting our parade, getting our drink on, having a good time. I think about this a lot, to be honest. Probably more than I should. I can't wait. I can't really. It's so big. I can imagine it, but I'm really like. Does that make sense? It's so big that you can't imagine it, but you really can't because you've never experienced it before.
Well, I didn't know what it was like to win the AFC Championship, to be there. Mm. You know what I mean? In Kansas City. Mm-hmm. My wife says, you didn't cry when our kids were born, but you cried when the Bengals won the AFC Championship.
I did too. Oh. Yeah.
No, I cried, honey. You were just in the moment.
I was crying on the inside, honey. Yeah, hell, that year I cried when we won our first playoff game against the Raiders. I started crying. I was there with my son, and it was awesome. I was like, it wasn't one of those moments that I never thought would happen. I thought it happened, but it was so many heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak, and it finally happened. I'm like, yeah, and then that run was unbelievable, and I was just going nuts. And did I tell you this story before? So that year, the end of 2020, or the beginning of that season, end of 2020, beginning of 2021. I was going to, this is before you can do sports betting on your phone or anything, before it was actually legal here in Ohio. I drove all the way down to Lawrenceburg, Indiana, I was going to go to the sports book down there.
Yep.
And I did early in the morning. I work at night. So as soon as I got off work, I went down and did it. I told her, I said, I just got a feeling. I said, Burrow's coming back from knee injury. I said, this is it. We're going to win the Super Bowl. She goes, you said we're going to win the Super Bowl every year. I said, I know, but you know what? This year, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. So I drove down there. My son came with me. Had $100. Was going to go there. It's probably, 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. Went to the sports book, and they weren't open.
Oh.
And I never went back because I was going to place a bet, not for the Bengals to win, just to go to the Super Bowl. You know how much money I would have won?
Well, when Carson got knocked out,
oh yeah,
we were in Vegas early that year, and I had $100 at 71-1 that the Bengals would win. $100 to win the Super Bowl. Oh, crazy! I tell you what. Here's a funny little story. I write to Mike Brown every year. Just say, hey, listen, here's my opinions on things. Thanks for doing this, and so on and so forth. Right. So I sent him a birthday card. His birthday's I think August 8th or 10th or 12th, something like that. He's going to be 80, this year? 86?
86, 87, somewhere around there, yeah.
Something like that. And he writes back, well, my daughter, Amanda, is a professional greeting card maker. She has her own line. She's been on whatever that thing on TV, QVC.
Right.
She's absolutely fabulous. So I said, can you do me a favor? Make me a birthday card for Mike Brown. So she does. It's absolutely fabulous. I wish I would have kept a copy, but she made this. And I wrote in it, Dear Mr. Brown, happy birthday. And for your birthday, I'm wishing you a Super Bowl win and a Lombardi trophy. I'm enclosing a $2 bill for good luck. Okay. Now, keep in mind, Bengals were predicted to win 4 games that year.
Right.
And I said my grandfather was a vice president of the First National Bank of Cincinnati. He always gave $2 bills out for good luck. So I've continued the legacy of that. So I put a $2 bill in there.
Right.
And he writes back, thanks for the wonderful card and the $2 bill. I'll keep it with me for good luck. When they're at the AFC Championship and he's getting the trophy, I looked at my wife and I said, do you think Mike's got the $2 bill in his pocket?
He might.
Hey, what a story that would have been had they won the Super Bowl and, they went on that run. It was unbelievable. Yeah, so that's just my funny little story about Mike Brown. And by the way, I write him and I get a handwritten letter back within 48 hours.
Wow, that's awesome. I heard he writes everybody back. That's what I've heard.
He does. No other sports owner that I know of takes the time. Mike Brown's a good man. The Brown family is Cincinnati royalty. Everybody, smacks him around and all that. I go, have you met them? I said, they're pretty sweet people. I ran into Katie at a David Fulcher's golf outing. Mm-hmm. And she comes up to me and says, and I have my white and black whiteout shirt on, striped one that we helped design.
Right.
And she says, I love your shirt. I said, I'm going to wear it to the Super Bowl this year. And she was pretty funny, but very nice and engaging. They're not uppity. They're just regular.
They're normal. They're normal people. I met Katie. First time I met her in Troy. I just happened to be in a pro shop, and they were walking around. I'm like, hey. And I talked to her for a little bit. And then I said, you guys mind getting a picture of me? And Katie's like, you don't want a picture of me. I said, yes, I do. So she's like, all right. So we took a picture of her and Troy. And then the last time I saw her, I was at Icky Woods Javante Woods golf outing. Icky Woods,
I saw you there.
Son. Yeah. That's right. You were there. So I think you heard the story where I was videoing her or whatever, and she was saying that they were, I don't remember, shooting at 87 or something like that. I was like, you're lying, or whatever. She's cracking up laughing. They are down to earth people. You would not know that they are owners of a professional football team. If you see them
a
walk
franchise
around,
that's worth $1 billion.
Right.
Just know it.
Yeah,
and their daughters are extremely nice as well.
And the thing is, Phil, we have access to them. Like, if you go down and, if you go to the Reds game, you can't get access to the players or access to the owners like you can with the Bengals. Because they have to walk across the street. They want to go to practice, they got to walk across the street. They have it barricaded off, but usually Troy and Paul Jr. and Troy or Katie and all that, they walk from the stairs. And they're not in the barriers. Now, sometimes they are, but sometimes they walk from the offices. And they're just walking right out there. I'm like, hey, Katie, how you doing? You're like, how you doing?
Another day at the office.
Right, and they're not, there's no a velvet rope between you and them, and I just think that's a very unique situation that we have here that I don't think most NFL teams have.
I agree with you 100%. I'm very grateful that the Brown family has kept the Bengals in town. They could have taken the money and run like Art Modell,
Yep.
and they didn't.
They didn't. Thank God for that. I'm glad. There's been a couple of years where I almost thought the opposite, but I never really actually voiced it. But yeah, I am glad we still have an NFL franchise, and I can't wait to see what the updates to the stadium are going to be. I think it's going to be a blast. I know my son's like, he wants us to get a dome stadium. I was like, but then you have to move. And I love where the stadium is. Where the stadium is, the red stadium is, that whole area. I'm like, I try to tell my son this sometimes. Like you don't remember what it was like because, he was alive in 2000, but he as a baby. I was like, it was a stadium and then a whole bunch of just trucks, because it was the flats. Is where
right.
They hauled stuff out of there, and that's all it was. I mean, there's nothing else.
There's
caddies.
Crap was there.
Yeah, and you had the spaghetti factory. I think was down there, and you had caddies like Hurricane. There wasn't much. It's nowhere close to what it is now. I mean, to be able to, if just say you don't want to do a tailgate or whatever, you just want to go and enjoy some nice food at a restaurant or whatever before a Reds or Bengals game. Go down to the Banks, go to the Moreland House, go to Holy Grail. There's so much stuff there you can eat and drink, and then both stadiums are right there. I think it's very, very unique how this whole thing got designed for the city of Cincinnati.
Well, it's set up well. Now, would you want a dome stadium?
I don't. I mean, only reason, I'll put it this way, not for football. The only reason I'd rather have a retractable one, but the only reason I kind of would is because the other events we could get. I would not want it for Bengals games. I want cold, rain. That's what I want. But for the city, for what the events they could get, that would be nice. So I'm kind of yes and no, if that makes sense,
I'm with you. I'll tell you, one of the most exhilarating games that I ever attended was when we played the Patriots and stopped Tom Brady's streak of touchdowns. And it started raining with about 3 minutes left in the game. And the harder it rained, the louder people cheered. That was just absolutely one of the coolest games ever.
Exactly. I mean, it's football. I'll put it this way. Football is meant to be played in the cold.
Amen.
Remember, all right, I'll just take point in case. Miami Dolphins going to Kansas City last year in the playoffs. Miami had no shot. It was too cold for them. They had no shots. That's the thing about these teams up north in cold areas. You playing this, you practice it, you get used to it. These other teams like from California, Florida, Texas, they don't play in this. That's where I think we have the teams up north have that advantage against these other teams. It doesn't work every time, but most of the time it does. And that was one of the biggest cases I've seen because Miami had no shot. They were done when they walked off the plane. They were done.
They were, and they knew it.
Yeah, and Kansas City is one of the coldest places I've ever been. I didn't go to I went to the AFC Championship game the year we lost, unfortunately. And it was like sitting out there at Bengal Jim's tailgate. I was so freaking cold. That wind, because it is so flat, and that wind was constant.
That was cold. Now, I was at a cold game in Buffalo a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I think it was the second coldest NFL game that year. I think it was 3 degrees. My wife and I went to Denver for a game. It was the game, our backup quarterback,
Jake Browning?
Stop it.
No.
Well, we missed a field goal. Nugent missed a field goal. It was the year that. Oh God. Well, anyway, we should have beat them. We were up 21-10, and I think we lost 24-21.
It wasn't Kidna, was it?
Not John Kidna. Who's the kid that played in the UFL this year?
AJ McCarron. AJ McCarron. There we go.
He was playing.
Yeah.
We're sitting in the front row on the goal line, and they had steel plates beneath us. My wife's beer froze. You got to remember, you're a mile above sea level. It was so freaking cold. Now, that's a cold game. I was not at the Freezer Bowl, but I was at
alive for it. I was
a game 2 weeks before we played Buffalo, and it was cold.
My uncle was at the Freezer Bowl, and I know everybody says, "Oh, I was there." Like, no, my uncle was legitly there. I wish he still. I still can't believe he didn't keep the ticket stub, but he was legitly there, and he actually went to Super Bowl 16, and I was 81, so I was 7, I think, and that was first year of the Stripes, and so I got actually nobody can see it, but right up there I got the 82 Super Bowl banner that my uncle bought for me in Detroit, Michigan. And I wish I still had this hat, Phil. You remember when the Stripes came out? They had the hat. It was an orange hat, and they had the Bengal stripes going across. It was kind of like a foam hat. I wish I still had that. I have no idea what happened to it. He bought me that. Those are two things that he bought me, and I remember that. And he's the reason I became a Bengals fan, to be honest. That year, that 81 year, I was 7 years old. Chris Collinsworth was a rookie. We're going to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
It was awesome. I was so sad we lost. And then losing in 88, I was 13. I punched holes in the walls of my bedroom after we lost that one.
It was terrible, terrible.
Exactly.
We at the time we were just married, and you start having a family. It was difficult to go to away games, but we always managed to go to one away game every year.
What's your streak at? Don't you have a streak for going to away games?
I just because, let's say, like this year, Dallas is on a Monday night.
Yeah.
With the jewelry store, I have to work on Tuesday. I don't get vacation days.
Yeah.
So
welcome to owning your own company.
You know what? It's wonderful. It enables us to do this. But I've been to 115 road games now.
That's what it is. Okay,
we've been to 22 out of the last 23 Super Bowl cities, gone to 3 games. I think when I was fan of the year, they asked me for all my stats, and they determined that I was in the top 10 people who had seen the most games in the last 30 years.
That's awesome. That's more than me, because I'm like I said I was a broke mofo with my kids here. And then my son played travel hockey, and if you know anything about travel hockey, it costs as much as or more as my season tickets. So when he was doing that, yeah, I didn't. I just watched him down here, and most of the time we were gone for the weekend. It's in some other city. He's playing hockey, so once he graduated and everything. Also, I got money again. So that's when I got my season tickets. That was back in 2020. So, and I filed my first. Let's see, my first road game was it Tennessee? Was that the first? I think my first road game was. Oh, it was a playoff game. I think it was. Yeah, it was a playoff game in Tennessee when Money Mac hit the game winner in Tennessee. Yep. I think that was my very first road game.
Really?
We're standing in the end zone and watching the field goal in that end zone, watching the field goal go through. And so every time, when me and Matty Myers, if we ever go down to Tennessee, we just buy tickets and we stand in the exact same spot. Because both times we went down there, we've won. I'm like, no, I don't care where we're sitting. We're standing here. So I'm like, I'm a little superstitious because, like I said, we've won the playoff game and we won the next year we went down and we won again. See, I didn't go this year. That's why I think we lost. It was my fault. I didn't go. So.
That could be. that could be. It gets cold. Are we in Tennessee in December this year?
I have to look. I think so.
I think we are. It gets cold in Nashville.
Yeah.
And you walk up and down those streets and that wind blows when you're walking between bars. Mm-hmm. Man.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
It's going to be a great year. I think we win the whole shooting match. I hope we get the AFC championship here. So that area at the banks, it'll be bedlam. It'll be just Cincinnati, and we deserve this. We really do.
Absolutely.
And it's good to see the core group of fans that have been there through the tough times and the lean times get rewarded. I'm glad we have all the other fans that have jumped back on the bandwagon. But I will tell you, there's a lot of people that sit in my section who have been fans for 40, 50 years. This is my 54th year of being a fan. And people don't understand the tough times we went through. So it's great to have the great times, and let's enjoy them, and let's just win the whole thing. And I'm glad we have shows like yours to promote the Bengals.
Hey, man, I'm glad we have fans like you and people like you. You're an awesome dude. Like I said, I've gotten to know you over the last couple of years, and I'm glad I got to know you. And like I said, for the coin flip at the NFL draft, you'll always be a legend in my mind there, Phil. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
Hey,
I'll send you info for Bengal Fest.
Sounds good. Thanks, brother. Hoo day.
Hey, hoo day.
All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Phil is an awesome, awesome dude. And like I said, I'm not just blowing smoke. He's a great dude. I've met him. We've been to a couple different golf outings and see him at different Bengals events. He's a great guy, a great Bengals fan. So, yeah, go check out. I say go check out Phil's, check out. He's on Facebook. You can check him out on there. But thanks for watching. I've been live streaming on ZTV, YouTube, Facebook, X, Twitch. You can follow me on all those along with Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. And like I said, I will be doing my own Moorline Lager House pregame show each and every Sunday at the Moorline Lager House. Like I said, there will be a fee for it. Don't have the price point yet, but you get delicious Moorline beer, delicious food, access to their bourbon bar. And like I said, we are going to have former Bengals there. It's going to be an absolute blast. As soon as I get all the information, I have a nice graphic and explaining everything. It's going to be awesome. So make sure you guys check out Moorline Lager House. Also, go check out my boys. Great family at Midwest Best Barbecue. Tim and Nicole are awesome, awesome people. Check them out. Get you some Uno wings, CTB wings. You can get drums, flats, whatever you like. They got it all there. Delicious. And my boy, the originator of the Jackpot Joey, Matty Myers. If you guys need a windows and doors, please check out Meyer Window and Door at www.meyercincinnati.com for all your window and door needs. And also, we got Hail Marys, the jewel of Cheviot. Big ass TV screens, beer specials, free parking, food trucks there. It's a great little bar right in the heart of Cheviot. Please make sure you check it out. Hail Marys, your ticket to the game. And tell all these places when you get there that Ice sent you. Or J Ice, which, that's what Corey calls me, J Ice. So, anyway. Very, very soon, we will be finding out, speaking about Corey Dillon, if he's in the Ring of Honor. He's getting in this year because I'm not going streaking. I don't care. I'm not going streaking. Like I said, if he doesn't get in, me and Corey are going streaking. I got his back, but I'm not going streaking because he's getting in. I'm just saying. Put it out there. He's going to get in. Can't wait for the season to start. God, it's the football season. See you guys tomorrow. Throw it up. And that's just sports, baby. See ya!